Barney, what will win the Gold Cup next Friday?
I think Grand Cru will win it. I certainly think he's the best value in the race. And, you know, he was 5 seconds faster than Long Run at Kempton. And a horse can run a fair distance in 5 seconds. And he's trained by very shrewd people. And if he runs it, I don't know whether he will run it or not, but he's the one, you know, and he's 5 seconds faster than Long Run. So that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. George?
It's the Cheltenham Gold Cup. I know Coda Star has won 2 of them. We all seen what happened last week, the schooling. Like, for some reason, Nichols Yard must be like the KGB. They kept it quiet for so long. But they done it. You cannot really fancy him after that. He must be really hurt. The twice this year that Coda Star has beaten Long Run, Ruby just rode Sam Whaley Cohen to sleep, in my opinion. This year, they're going to go out and really make it a test of stamina. They're going to take on. He's not going to get an easy lead if he runs in the race. Coda Star, and the indications today are that he will. Long Run, I don't know. He's a French bred. They peak very young, and he hasn't followed on from last year's Gold Cup. I know that beating Burton Port is not Gold Cup winning form. This time last year, I put up Midnight Chase each way in this. He was beaten going out in the second circuit. Dougie Costello seemed to get on like a house on fire with him, though, so maybe this year he'll run better. It's just a punt in the dark for me in this race for value. I would a few quid each way on Weird Al. He won I know the race, they can grab the form of the Charlie Hall that he won. After that, he was beaten out of sight on desperate ground by Coda Star at Haydock. But just at the price, he may run into a place. Weird Al, it's a shot in the dark personally, but I would be taking on Long Run all day in it anyways.
Okay, thank you. Davey?
Yeah, I've been actually in favour of Midnight Chase to run a big race, but you know, maybe the more you look at it, maybe you just kind of say that Long Run is going to be very hard to beat. And I just went down through bits and pieces of form there during the week, and if you remember, Weapons Amnesty beat Long Run, and Burton Port finished second in the race in Cheltenham. He's got a great record. Nicky is probably hitting him spot on for Cheltenham. So I just maybe changed my mind a little bit, maybe, and moving towards Burton Port, because he's a classier horse than Midnight Chase, and he's getting there fairly spot on. Barry Gertie said all his career he never done a good piece of work at home until this year, and this year he's absolutely bombing at home. They think that where he's after getting his speed from, they don't know. He's just after improving hand over fist, and it's just I don't know what it is about Long Run. It's hard to like him with his performances this year, but he's still, at the end of the day, going to be very hard to beat, and maybe if there's one at a price, maybe this might be the horse.
Okay, thank you. Paul?
Yeah, Long Run is one of those horses. He must be a really, really superb horse to jump as badly as he does and win the races that he has. He seemed to add jumping sideways into his armoury at Newbury last time. I know some people said he jumped better than normal, but what's all that going out to the left about? He either hits him or he goes out. He's not jumping like what you call a professional steeplechaser. He's 6-4 on pure form. If you took Coda Star out of the race, he's miles clear of everything else, so he can still win. But I think I have to have a crack at him with something. Trying to work out what is a bit of a problem. I backed Midnight Chase without the big 2 a few weeks ago. I've also backed Synchronised. A lot of people keep telling me that's a slow horse, but we just saw the replay there. That wasn't the finish of a slow horse in the Lexus. So he'll be the one for me.
Patrick?
We'll run Kelesprit in this, and we've always thought he was a Gold Cup horse. I think he probably would have won the RSA last year. He just happened to not take off at one of the fences. We've got that figured out now, and he's jumping much better this year. his run in the Hennessy probably wasn't good enough, but he'd improve again for the extra 2 furlongs. But I'd agree with Paul, and I think that Derek agrees as well, that Synchronised is it could be going into this underrated. I mean, his Lexus run, he beat 2 proper Grade 1 horses in Ruby Light and Kilo de la Rock, and he sprinted away with his ears pricked and made them look very slow. And because he's been running over 3 mile 5 and running in those big long distance handicaps, people have him down as a slow horse, but he fairly sprinted away there. And the ground at Leopardstown at Christmas was good ground. It was the same there. We didn't school our horses yesterday because the ground Leopardstown nowadays is good ground. There's never any softs in it. Whatever way they've done the drainage, good ground is what you get in Leopardstown. And he'll handle the ground and he'll stay. I think he's a big price, 10 to 1.
Thank you.
Burton Port. Apologies after stealing my thunder there, small.
Oh, and I happen to own a horse with second to Burton Port. If anyone wants to buy it off me afterwards.
You have what? What you want? What you have?
No, I don't. You're not allowed to ride
it. Burton Port put up a cracking run behind Long Run the last day, but I don't think I can't see any reason for him to reproduce that form or get any closer to Long Run in the future. Long Run has his critics, but as simple as this, he's won a Gold Cup. His jockey has his critics, but he's won a Gold Cup. He's done a lot more than the majority of jockeys out at the moment. Long Run shouldn't be criticised. The jockey shouldn't be criticised. Kieran Star, to be a shame if anything happened to him. I hope he turns up 100% and puts in a clean round and he comes home safe. He's such a lovely horse. It'd be a fright if he goes there and something happens to him. So it'd be nearly nicer not to see him go there and be retired out of it. But for the winner of the race, Synchronised, I think that was a fabulous performance in the Lexus. That put all the Irish horses into their place. The Irish horses were treading water there after jumping the last, and they're Synchronised, powering clear. If that was over 3 mile around the flat track, if that was up the hill and put an extra 2.5 furlongs in Cheltenham, the distance he'd have put between the Irish horses and himself would have been colossal. Very well handicapped, which we know that JP does, and he won them races over a longer trip. Maybe the horse is improving, maybe he was very well handicapped, don't know, but his form right now is good enough for me to put him bang there in a Gold Cup. Taking on Long Run, I'd still side with Synchronised.
Hurricane Fly has the late Pendles Cross. Hurricane Fly wins the champion hurdle.